Hey, what's going on YouTube? Today I want to talk all about drill weekends in the Navy Reserves. One of the biggest benefits in the reserves is the flexibility you have. So in order for you to take advantage, you need to know what you can do and what you can't do. Generally speaking, everybody is going to drill the 1 week in a month on the Reserve Center schedule. There are going to be some exceptions. If you are cross-assigned, maybe you're drilling once a quarter with your unit somewhere else. Or if you're in a unit that has a higher op tempo, you may be doing Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sundays, just depending. But generally speaking, you are going to do the 1 week in a month. And if you want to find this drill schedule, you can go to the Navy Reserve home port. It is a CAC-enabled site. Click on Find an NRC, click the little triangle that you belong to, and then you can print your drill schedule from there. So that way you're able to plan your year sort of ahead of time. You are required as a reservist to complete 40 out of the 48 IDT periods or drill periods per year. Each drill weekend is 4 points: Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. So however your schedule falls or however you want to use those authorized absences are up to you. I would recommend just reserving those for emergencies. So if you get sick, if you don't have childcare, things like that, because once you use those, you're done for the year. My personal preference is doing reschedules whenever I have to. So let's say I can't make it to drill weekend in February, and I know that already. I prefer to pull my February drill weekend into January, and I do a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and so that way I can just skip February. Technically speaking, Big Navy doesn't really care when you drill as long as you have a good year. It really is going to depend, the flexibility is really going to depend on what unit you're with. My unit was pretty flexible. There are going to be units that are not as flexible, which is going to be, that's why it's going to be important for you to select the right unit for you. If you want to flex drill or do some reschedules, you can do that yourself via NSIPs. Go to Electronic Drill Management. And remember, there are going to be 4 periods in a drill weekend. So if you want to reschedule the entire drill weekend, you have to do 4 different requests for each period. And like I said, my unit was pretty flexible. So I'll give you a couple examples of things that I've seen for reschedules. I had a lieutenant in my unit that lived Oconus, and she was able to reschedule all her drills once a quarter. So she would go do her thing overseas, and then she would come once a quarter and drill out, and then go back overseas. And that's how she managed her schedule. Feel free to get creative with this as well. If you have a particular skill set that would be beneficial somewhere else, an example, I'm an HM. If I was BLS instructor certified and I'm friends with somebody that works in the Navy recruiting command, I could talk to my chain of command, say, hey, the recruiting command is needing someone to be their BLS instructor, and I could reschedule my drills in order to complete that. I did several different evolutions. For example, one time I rescheduled a drill weekend during the week to complete a Marine mini boot camp, or it was some sort of thing for the poolies, and they needed a medical standby person, so I was able to do that. I could do drill schedules and go do some shadowing at the VA hospital, things like that. The more creative you get and the more that you are able to do, the better experience you're going to have in the reserves. Otherwise, you're probably just going to sit at the reserve center and kind of feel like it's a waste of time. So I recommend looking into that. Another option you can do is teleworking drills. Now, in order for you to be eligible to complete teleworking, you have to complete the teleworking package. Go ask your manpower department about this. If I remember correctly, it's like an NKO, and you have to do like a special request sheet or something like that, or page 13, and then you are able to do teleworking drills. I'll give you an example of someone that I know that does a teleworking drill. We have a lieutenant that works with us in the recruiting command, but she is a reservist. So she takes her drill weekends and she reschedules during the week whenever we're doing our medical evolutions, and she's able to help us out with some medical exams and things like that. So that is an example of her doing a teleworking drill. Another example, when I was mobilizing, I had to complete a lot of medical testing and exams in my free time in order to get my medical clearance. So I was able to take my drill weekends and turn it into teleworking drills, so that way I was able to complete some of those while I'm on military type orders. In summary, you are required to complete 40 out of the 48 drill periods per year. You have the opportunity to do reschedules. You have the opportunity to do teleworking drills. My personal recommendation, get creative with what you can do on a drill weekend in order to leverage your skills, in order to get the most out of your reserve experience. It is really easy to fall into that trap of reporting to the NRC and kind of just hiding out until the drill weekend is over and then going home. This is your time that you have while you're getting paid in order to complete things that you need to complete, or really do whatever you want to do. So I'm hoping that that is empowering and you can use that to your advantage. I hope that this was helpful. If you have any specific questions or anything, please comment below, or you can reach out to me directly. Thank you for watching.